All right, Jesse here. So I have an update to my last video.
Slippage versus padding. Gala Games lied to its community, and today I'm going to share the proof.
In that last video, it was a pretty straightforward call out to Gala Games. And the reason for my call out is this. When I first began looking at the blockchain gaming industry, I started to get really excited. Because think about it, come on, any of us that have been gamers since we were little kids, I'm sure all of us have dreamed, how magical would that be if we could literally be closer to these role-playing games that we invest our time in. We get emotionally invested in these things because we just love the aspect of living vicariously through the characters that we create. That being the case, it became incredibly exciting to think that, wow, blockchain is going to make the gaming experience more real because it's going to create a real economy. We're going to really own the characters and the content, the assets, the in-game assets that we pour our hearts into and blood, sweat, and tears to make these things come to life. So it became really exciting to think that this was something that was going to become a reality. And so when I was looking at games out there, I found a bunch of them and I played some, and some seemed really grindy, but none of them really seemed to have the potential of what Mirandus by Gala Games could have, at least for me. But then what I really began to realize is that we don't even really know what Mirandus is going to be. And so there's an interesting convergence that's happening here with the target market for Mirandus. And that is people who have the heart and mind of a gamer, meaning like all I gotta do is plant a few seeds and we'll make the rest up in our head. We're buying assets, buildings. We don't know what these buildings do. We don't know what the professions are. We don't know how the magic system works. We don't know how the crafting system works. But in some cases, we're spending tens of thousands of dollars on these things. Land deeds can cost all the way up to, well, millions for citadels, but certainly hundreds of thousands of dollars for towns. Villages will run anywhere from $20,000 to $60,000. Hamlets, on the secondary market right now, what a ranching hamlet's about $8,000, and ranching hamlet's $12,000. Farming hamlet, it's about $8,000. So my point here is that we don't even know what these things will do, but we so want this world to be what we imagine it in our minds that we're spending lots of money on hopium, hoping that it will be that way. Now, the other interesting convergence that's happening is that because gamers are more closely associated to technology, a lot of us were aware of crypto and began to understand crypto sooner than others might. A lot of us, we're geeks to a degree, so we understand technology and geeky things better than most people do. So we were at crypto first. That doesn't mean that geeks in crypto and gamers have an understanding of how to manage their money. And when money is in crypto, and crypto has gone up exponentially over a handful of years, now you have some young people, especially, that have big pockets of money in crypto, and crypto is kind of funny money because it's not the same as fiat currency in your bank account. It's this funny money that's sitting out there. And so now we have this funny money, and here's this thing that we dream about, and we have a way to say now we can now invest in something that's ours, but we have no idea what we're investing in. So it's a very dangerous economy right now. That's what's happening. And so because I'm personally aware of this, and because we have a company that is carrying the flag of being the gamer's champion, and as if they're doing it for a really noble cause, I don't know, I've taken it upon myself to be a bit of a watchdog here. And the things that I'm seeing early on are concerning to me. And what I would like to see happen is I would like to see kind of Gala Games engage kind of a committee of community representatives like myself that they can meet with and have questions asked and hear from them the truth, so that we can then share with the community that yes, we like how this project is developing and how it's going. You can't carry the torch of being the gamers champion if this is a greed venture, if this is just a corporate means of monopolizing the gaming blockchain space. If this is truly all about the money and you're just using the buzzwords and the marketing that is going to attract people that are going to spend their money, but you really have less care about the gaming experience, then you're not the right company to do this. But if you truly do, and you want to have that open dialogue, you should be openly communicating with gamers as you develop this and not have them guessing and spending their money but really not understanding what they're spending it on. This has the potential to be massive, more massive than I think even Gala Games realizes. This is going to set the stage, and right now you're at bat and it's yours to lose. So, where was I going with all of this? So I created that last video that was a direct call out for some shady stuff. And I think anyone looking at that video, it's pretty easy to see that there was some shenanigans at play. There was some dishonesty, which to me suggests that there's not a high level of respect for the community and the intelligence of the community to see through it. And honestly, it didn't really seem like anyone did. I didn't really see anyone else calling the company out. I mean, I saw a few people grumble, but no one saying, hey, look, what you guys are doing is wrong. And so that's why I took it upon myself to create that last video. Now, a couple of things that concerned me and still concern me. When I created that, the reason I created that video is the conversation that I had with CMO Jason Brink. When I first engaged him, he stuck to the story of slippage. Once he understood that I wasn't really buying that, and again, this is my narrative, okay? It occurred to me that once he understood that I was not buying the BS of slippage, that is when he openly said that slippage is built into every sale on the Gala store. Basically saying they've been padding all along, but we wouldn't know that because we really haven't been privy to what the prices are ahead of time for a sale, for an item drop, for an NFT drop. And because it was shared this time, we had an expectation, and he said to me, and this is what is alarming to me, is he said to me, had we not told you that price, we wouldn't be having this conversation. Which is a offhanded way to say that if we had not shown you the original price, you wouldn't know that we increased it. And he's correct. He is absolutely right. But that raises even more questions about what kind of underhanded stuff happens in the company, and it's okay just as long as we don't know about it. That is why there should be some type of a council, a committee, someone that is representing the community for many reasons. Because if you're building this for gamers, you should really have gamer feedback. You should want to hear from us what we think it should be. One of the things that was fascinating, and I use this as a point of reference, if you remember years ago when Lord of the Rings was created, there was a fan blog, and the fan blog talked about everything, like elven language, how much hair should be on a hobbit's foot. That's one that always stood out for me because I think it was very helpful in helping to bring that movie to life in a way that would become acceptable to fans of Tolkien's work. Same thing here. If you're going to build an epic MMORPG that truly is about creating this adventure simulator, as you're calling it, then by all means it should have feedback from fans about what we think makes for an epic in-game experience. What do we think about these types of things? But we're not really getting that, and it almost feels like you're throwing out just enough to let the fans create the rest in their head, which is an amazing marketing tactic from a business standpoint, but it can lead down a fuzzy road as it relates to the overall fan experience. And so that's part of what I'm concerned about. Now, I did reach out to Eric. I did not hear back from Eric Schiermeyer, CEO of Gala Games, because I really want to have a candid conversation with him on behalf of the community, on behalf of the fans. I'd like to interview him. I'd like to ask some questions, and I'm not approaching this from an antagonistic standpoint. I really want to understand if his words about being a noble cause and his words about being honest and holding his company and himself accountable. I want to understand if these things are really true. I have some questions for him about what he wants Gala Games to be. And I think these are things that the community should know, that the gaming world should know. And so, Eric, I invite you to have that conversation with me. I want to better understand what you're building. And I would go as far as to say that by you sharing that and for us having a real candid conversation, you're going to have a lot more people on board wanting to support what you're creating. Now, as an update to that last video, once I did share this video with the team at Gala, it was on a Friday evening. I'm recording this video on Saturday morning, my time. And I did go back and I checked the store. And guess what? All the prices are updated. So for those of you who are going to be buying elves in the next couple rounds, or dwarves or orcs or humans or halflings, you're now going to pay the actual price instead of the inflated price, paying an additional 10%. So, in the short of it, that's kind of the impact that having someone be kind of a community watchdog can have. In the long run, that's going to save the community and customers and buyers like myself and people that are consuming and buying these NFTs from Gala Games. It's going to save us millions of dollars. So that's why it's important to do this type of investigative journalism, if you want to call it that. I'm seriously, I'm not a journalist, but you get my point, is by having someone actually say, hey, wait a minute, and call a company out and hold a company accountable. That's an important thing to do, because the nature of corporations is that they very seldom hold themselves accountable. Money will often want to expand to become more money, and that translates into things like what we just witnessed. So I've got so much to share, and I know I've jumped all over the place in this video, but I'm excited about where the gaming world's going. I'm excited about blockchain gaming. I'm excited about decentralized gaming. I'm excited about players owning in-game assets. I'm excited about what the future of MMORPGs can hold for us and what we can experience and how exciting it's going to become. And I truly hope Gala Games is the company to do that. But if they are, they're going to need to be more transparent and have more open dialogue with the community about what is being created. And with that, Jesse out.